ahead, call the meeting to order. If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom. Here. Ms. Lehman.
Here.
Ms. Lewis.
Here.
Mr. Nally.
Here.
Mr. Price.
Here. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from our regular meeting on June 22nd, 2026, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bloom. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lewis. Any discussion? I will just say that I am happy I am not the treasurer pro tem or secretary pro tem or whatever anymore. So did I screw it up really bad?
I didn't hear any complaints when we were doing the minutes. So.
Got lucky. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom.
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes.
Ms. Lehman.
Yes.
Mr. Nally.
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved. Moving on to our legislative report.
Not a lot. Just wanted to mention that legislature is on summer recess, so not a whole lot going on now. They did end up, with just a couple things that the capital budget bill was signed by the governor, and that's for the 2027-2028 year. That was through Senate Bill 450. And basically the capital bill, it was interesting, the legislative liaison monthly, they mentioned that the capital bill is supposed to be basically for anything you can touch. It's not for other bills that don't have something physical. So that was signed by the governor. Also was signed by, he also signed Senate Bill 276, which deals with the success sequencing. And we talked about that at the last meeting. And so that's something that we have to kind of grow into over the course of time and work into our students. And that was basically the two items that I wanted to mention this evening.
Okay. Thanks, sir. No walk-on items tonight?
No, sir.
Nobody here from the community. So moving on to the superintendent's report.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Price. First of all, we recently had a policy meeting. So I would just share a little bit of our meeting minutes and just keep everyone abreast. And those policies are on our agenda this evening for first reading. There were just a handful that had some changes worth highlighting. Some of them are very, very closely tied to either legal changes or, for example, credit card policy, DJH. There was a requirement that came from the Auditor of State, so we just needed to make sure that our policy locally was updated to that. Policy IKAB, which is the student progress reports to parents, that will bring a change. And so we'll start to get that message out. And it will be changed in our handbook, and it will be changed at the beginning of the year in that communication. So we currently send a report card 4 times a year at the end of every quarter. And we currently send an interim or a midterm halfway through every quarter. And then there are progress reports for some of our students that are tied to individual education plans. And so there's a lot of communication options. The big change will be with those interims or midterms. And the change will be that we will send that written communication home if the child is in danger of failing at the midterm piece, at that time frame. So we want to make sure that we're really communicating and we're noting those changes if there's a strong concern of failing the course at the time for the parent. And if not, then that written communication will not go home. The balance of that is all of our grades are available in progress book to our parents, to our guardians all the time, every day, every hour, all the time. So we know that this might be a little bit of a change. We know that we're going to need to communicate this. And we may have to reacclimate some parents. Maybe they forgot their login information to Progress Book, or they want to be shown again how to do it. But we want to share the ownership on watching those grades and communicating those pieces. So that's the change to IKAB. That's the big piece there. Policy JED is our student absences and excuses. And that law change is a piece that we've been talking about and highlighting, that those changes came out of House Bill 96 from a year ago, last July. So we've been monitoring those, and we've been working those through some committees and policies in the district. We've had conversation within the entire county with our Family and Children First Council to make sure that we had parent input to some of these changes, and we had worked closely with our juvenile court in those changes. The big change there is we are attempting, the law is making the attempt that we are considering intervention and family involvement when addressing student truancy and absence, which that takes us away a little bit from that compliance and that enforcement to the rule. Instead, it looks a little bit more on the side of what can we do and how can we help. So really, that's the shift there. There will be some changes with that law, that we very much will be looking at student attendance for the time the student is sitting in the seat. So there will be a little bit different definition of excused and unexcused, and the whole thing is going to look at the amount of hours that the child has access to instruction and the amount of hours they are sitting in the seat to get that instruction. So when they're not sitting in the seat to get that instruction, we will need to, by law, keep track of that. And then we will be communicating those thresholds to families and guardians when they meet those. Okay. Yep. So a little bit of a change. And we'll communicate those. We're making changes. Next board meeting, we'll have our student handbook. That will be part of our approval process for that meeting. And then we'll start communicating that with families. But we needed the policy changes according to the law because our handbook refers to those policy pieces.
One thing that in the policy meeting that I thought of, and I brought it up to the committee, was with that absenteeism thing. So the law takes a less punitive approach to the student. So my question was, so it's less punitive for the student based on law. Does the state give us leeway? Because when the kids aren't butts in seats and they're not learning, and then they take the state test and it shows up on our state report card, is there a less punitive approach for school districts based on the law? And of course there isn't. So the kids aren't learning, so they're not going to do well on their test, or they could care less about the test. And we still get dinged for it, even though the state law is less punitive towards the student. Let's have intervention, which I'm all about. Absolutely, having the families involved and everything else, and find out, okay, what can we do to help? Sometimes there isn't anything that we can do to help because they just don't they don't make their kid be in school.
Or the district has exhausted all of
everything,
the resources for help.
And the kid still doesn't come to school. But now, based on this law change, does that mean some of those unexcused become excused? And so they're still part of your district. However, it doesn't show well on all of our state reporting based on their test scores, but no help for the public school district. The other thing I did think of too, not in the committee meeting, was butts and seats, instructional time, and how many instruction hours they're available to the student and how many times they're in the seat. Once again, it's not a level playing field, because I'm sure the community schools do not have to follow that law because butts aren't in seats anyway. So how do they judge that? So once again, public schools that have buildings are judged on a different playing field than other school districts, yet we're the ones that are failing our kids. So,
well, and I think what you historically say, Tom, that holds even bigger value to what you just said is that the money is now being distributed the same.
right.
So I think
So as a parent, I can take that money and run to wherever I want to go to. That's fine. I'm all for parent choice. When there's a level playing field for all the 20 some different school categories there are in the state of Ohio, nobody even knows. Nobody can tell anybody what every kind of school there is. Non-chartered, public, chartered, community, who knows what? Homeschool at the picnic. Who knows? Yeah. I mean, they come up with all different ones, and everybody gets the same amount of money, yet we're still held to that higher standard than anybody else.
sure.
I mean, nothing against homeschool, but do homeschooled parents have to keep track of instructional hours and if their child is not in that seat? No.
They used to.
They don't anymore. They don't have to anymore. There isn't any of that. But so anyway, I
continue to evolve and change, don't we?
Yep.
Yep.
But and the shout out to the district is that we will always remain compliant and do all the things that we're supposed to do.
We will do everything Columbus tells us we have to do, even though it's unfair. Thanks, Columbus. We appreciate you.
We also, in that policy committee meeting, we also took a look at our cybersecurity policy that was new as of January. And we wanted to take a look at that. Again, that our response plan, again, by that same law, needs to be put in place by this July. So that will be coming up on our agenda later this evening. And then we also took a look at our employee handbook. Again, similar to the student handbook that you'll see next meeting, we need to make sure that all of those policies are updated first, and then those pieces come into play so that we can provide those guidelines for our staff. So those were the highlights that I had. I don't know if Mr. Nally or Mr. Price, if you had anything you wanted to add.
No. I think you covered it well.
All right. The only other thing that I had is I just wanted to make a mention of our summer meal program. Today was another busy, very successful day. I know I was at the high school around 10:30 for a meeting, and there were already cars lined up, ready to go. So today we served 550 families. Lots of bags of food have been given away. It was just phenomenal. We did have today about 25 cars that were still left when we ran out. We do want to make sure that the community understands it is first come, first serve. We are asking for a one-time during the summer registration just so that we can really try to keep that count as close as possible. Last Monday with the rain, we had lots of bags. We had 70 some bags that were left over that did not get out. So it is really, really hard to just nail down that perfect number.
Never gonna
but
be
we
perfect.
have been 500 plus really all summer long. So
it means kids are eating.
Kids are eating and they're waiting in line, and we've had zero issues in the line. We've had zero issues with families coming through. Our volunteers have been fantastic. We have Temple Christian Academy has supported us again this summer in volunteering. So this is open to any family in the county. So it's a great opportunity that we can offer our families, and we're very, very thrilled that our staff steps up to this as well. So that's a good thing.
Yep.
That is all I had this evening. If you're okay, I'll continue.
Yep.
Thank you. Item number 1, I would ask your approval for our donations. And if I could just take a second to just speak on these 2 donations. So the first one comes from our Fremont Area Foundation. FAF is donating $6,000 for the purpose of supporting our school school spirit. We are working out some details, but they have a desire to help us get students into the football stadium for some football games. So we are still working out some details. So I would tell our community to stay close. We do have a community-wide pep rally that is planned for Wednesday, August 19th. It will be downtown again. And I think that event is going to be incorporated into the student tickets. So again, we're still working out details. We'll get all the information out. But we are very, very thankful for the Fremont Area Foundation. Our next donation is from the Lee N. Koenig Legacy Fund in the amount of $450,000. The Lee N. Koenig Legacy Fund has been established to honor the legacy of Lee Koenig, whose dedication to Fremont City schools and to the entire Fremont community has spanned years of service and leadership. And we are thrilled to be a part of this donation and in this foundation. So thrilled. And as we go, we'll talk a little bit more this evening about where those dollars are going to look, how they're going to be used in the district. So at that, Mr. Price, I would ask your approval.
Can I have a motion to approve item 1, please?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Lewis. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Nally. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved.
Thank you. Item number 2, I would ask your approval for us to purchase one school bus this time. This is a school bus that will provide us some additional opportunity to safely transport our students.
Can I have a motion to approve item 2, please?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Lehman. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bloom. Any discussion?
How can we say no after the report we got last week
Right.
about?
Yeah.
But it is, I guess it makes it easier to oblige things of this nature when you hear directly from the transportation department and the care and concern that they put into making sure our kiddos get to and from not just school, but all the things.
Right.
So
Absolutely. And remember that Ms. Parkhurst, myself, and Mr. Anway have developed a review and adoption cycle for the purchasing of new transportation, new buses. So this helps really support our fleet and keep us moving in the right direction.
All right. Roll call, please.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved.
Wonderful. Thank you. Item number 3 is the first reading for those policies, runs through item number 8.
Can I have a motion to approve items 3 through 8, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Nally. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lehman. Any discussion?
Just for item 4, Superintendent Hurt, since you brought that up about the progress reports might looking different. I think something that will this be K-12 or is K-12?
Yes.
Just in reflecting on some things like that happened last school year, I think something even at the high school that Mr. Norris did really well was when there was a big change coming. He started early with talking about that. So I might note that it would parents just I feel like we all appreciate as parents knowing that a change has come well in advance before it comes, and then you can have the opportunity to have conversations about why, and it's not at midterm time when everybody's already all stressed out.
That's a great suggestion. Thank you.
And also, will they sign something so they understand what they're being talked about with? So
The handbook is part of the sign off and final forms. So at the start of the school year, that would be a piece. But there's a lot in that handbook.
Yeah.
And as a active parent of active children, sometimes I know that it might be challenging to read every page of that handbook. But it is there. But certainly, I think respectfully, you're both just, making sure that we get that information out.
well, I hear from parents myself, oh, I don't know how to find their grades. They never said nothing home. And it's like, do you get into progress quick? Do you do this? Well, yeah. Well, if you have this thing that you checked on at the beginning of the year, you can easily go back and say, well, if they say no, say, well, you went through this checklist right here, and it says right here that you did acknowledge that you read it, or that you know what's going on.
I'm just saying it's just a visual
Yes.
that you could show the parents later on.
Yeah, and that was kind of the like a second part to like my thought about when we have open house, I'm
Mhm.
sure that the wonderful guidance counselors and that department could be available to, and I know historically have been available to help parents with navigating progress book, especially when we go from that grade school to middle school situation, things change pretty drastically. So that's a good opportunity to educate parents as well.
Thank you. Very good.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom. Yes. Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved.
Thank you. Item number 9, I would ask your approval for the cyber incident response plan.
Can I have a motion to approve item 9, please?
Moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bloom. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lehman. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom. Yes. Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved.
Thank you. Item number 10, I would ask that you consider approving a Ross High School diploma for Cameron James Henderson.
Can I have a motion to approve item 10, please?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Lewis. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bloom. Any discussion?
Congratulations, Cameron.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom. Yes. Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved.
Thank you. Item number 11, I would ask your approval for a very sizable purchase of $217,000. This is part of the cleaning funds that have been donated specifically for this reason. This aligns with the memo from Mrs. Abernathy on Friday.
Can I have a motion to approve item 11, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Nally. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bloom. Any discussion?
It's just exciting to see all of the new opportunities that our students are put before our students.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and thank you for the Koenig Fund and
Yes.
the directors that are a part of that and his family that is a part of that. That's what we can do with that, and just bringing in this technology for our students to be open to and to learn from is amazing. So huge thank you.
Yeah, and then give back into the community. Like robotics, there's plenty of industry in
Absolutely.
the area that is supported by robotics, and to have a leg up on that.
Right. Yeah.
This will allow some of our students that are involved in this programming to earn that industry credential. It becomes part of their graduation pathway. It aligns them with job-ready skills
Yeah.
for our manufacturing partners that are in our area. I
Yeah.
mean, the robotics, the manufacturing, the automation, it's just
Win,
really
win,
exciting.
win.
Right.
Really exciting.
And as a ongoing, will you guys be putting together a formal plan to how do you keep up with that technology and update those so that it's not hey, we're going to do a burst and then we can't do it anymore because the equipment's old.
Mhm. Mrs. Abernathy, would you like to join us?
Is that something you're able to establish? I think this is a great start.
Yes, as time progresses and we get through, our first couple of years, first of all, our teacher goes for training, and that can be more than once. Also, our communication, our relationship with our community partners, we expect and anticipate people will be in and out of our building, and so we're going to rely on them as well. So, we're at the very beginning stage of all of that, but we have some great people at the table. I just sit and learn from them is really what it is, and it's going to benefit our students, and we're going to continue to keep up on that.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Exciting.
All right. Roll call, please.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved.
Thank you. Moving on to our staff items this evening, beginning with item number 12, we do have a few resignations. Item 13, home instruction tutor, that was taking place this summer for some extended school year opportunities. Beginning in item 14, we have some new appointments coming. These are team members coming on board for the 2026-27 school year. So we are very excited to add them to our team. And then some home instruction tutors. We also then have at the start of our certified substitutes, our support substitutes. In item 15, we have some extended days. And item 16, some supplemental contracts. These are individuals, certified staff that are going to be doing some extra pieces with us. Item number 17, we have some of our extracurricular pieces that are joining us, some coaches, some volunteers. Item number 18, we have one student teacher mentor. Elizabeth Schultz had a student teacher this past spring, and the university has awarded her that dollar for taking that novice teacher under her wings. And item 19, we have many special event workers. These are specific to our band, choir, and orchestra. And they wanted to get that on board right away because they're getting started. It's July, so it's that time. And then item number 20, we have some status changes for some certified staff members who have met the additional level according to their contract, additional salary level because they have earned some additional instruction for themselves.
Can I get a motion to approve items 12 through 20, please?
Quick question. Ellie's name is in here.
Oh.
Elizabeth Bloom in the sub section. Support staff, Nicole Aminetti. Then you read over and it says Elizabeth Bloom. Should I vote on that?
I would
Pull it out.
abstain since
We can, yeah,
Yeah.
just pull it out and separate.
we can, or
Or she could just abstain from this
you could
vote.
just abstain from the
roll
vote.
call.
Yeah.
I would just abstain.
Okay.
Okay.
I
I'm
was like,
sorry.
That's okay. I know I was scanning through it and I was like, oh, whoop, there's your name.
Good call. Very good call. I apologize for
That's
that.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll keep her in there.
Mhm.
We'll keep your daughter in there. So
Okay.
can I have a motion to approve items 12 through 20, please?
So moved.
Motion by Miss Lehman. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Miss Lewis. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom,
Abstain.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes. Motion's approved.
Awesome. Thank you. Item number 21, just the personnel handbook for our non-unionized classified employees.
Can I have a motion to approve item 21, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bloom. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Miss Lehman. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes. Motion.
Thank you.
Moving on to report of the treasurer.
Good evening. It has been the busy last couple of weeks with the closing out of the fiscal year for my department. Glad to say we're all done with that and we are on to fiscal 27. Ooh. And sorry, I had to stumble over that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of insane to be saying fiscal 27, but we're there and ready to go. Purchase orders are going out for all the July 1 stuff that is needed, and everybody's so happy. Thank you, Mr. Price, for filling in for me the last meeting.
Yeah, don't be gone again.
Close one today. But today on the agenda, I do have just two items The one is going to be the May financial report. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because May is just kind of preliminary to when we get to next meeting, which is going to be my big annual review, and I'll hit on more stuff. Just kind of a couple of highlights. We had kind of expected this fiscal year to see a decrease in interest income. And actually that has not happened. We're still seeing an uptick in that. So we're able to utilize different things. On the small side, anytime we have CDs come available, Jen's reaching out to banks, finding local interest rates, see what the best can be for the district. So we utilize a lot of the different local banks to come up with where we're going to hold some of our smaller CDs. And then we do have the bulk of our investments is with Fifth Third. But we do a lot of work to make sure we can safely and within our very limited resources get some interest income for us. And then just in expenses, we are trending slightly lower than what we had forecasted. So that's always good to see. Hopefully I can keep that up the next couple of years. So that's just kind of the quick wrap up for May. I was going to have it on the last agenda, but due to my absence, I was like, I'm not going to throw that on for that meeting. It'll wait. There's nothing really too glaring at those financials that I thought we needed to highlight on to spend too much time on it. Next, we also already have appropriation changes for fiscal 27, and that's just so that we can have access to those Lee Kane and legacy funds. We have a special cost center and a special other grant fund so that each one of those projects can be tracked. The one you saw tonight is a separation from general fund and this other fund. And that's just so that we only had a certain dollar amount and there was a little bit that general fund had to kick in that went over the donation from.
So that was that difference of the 217,000. Okay.
Yep.
That's what I was wondering.
Yep. So,
Can we talk about CTE fund? I mean, I know it's general fund, but
so as part of our state funding, we get what's called CTE funds, and that is actually what's being utilized. And off the top of my head right now, I'm totally blanking on what CTE stands for.
Career technical education.
So that fits right in that wheelhouse for us of being able to effectively utilize those dollars that the state gives us.
Yes, because we are not a career tech institution of education. We are a comprehensive local educational agency, right? But we do have teachers and programs and curriculum that do fall into that CTE world. Dollars are generated that come through this, end up in our general fund, but are specific to those career tech pieces. So like our business education, our industrial tech, our woodworking, our robotics, those individuals, even sometimes like we can look at that with our child development, our healthy cuisine. So some of our unique courses that we offer, if the teacher is licensed and we apply for those pieces to connect them, and then they're teaching areas of instruction that align to, so we have to, we, Mrs. Abernathy, we put, has to put all of those pieces together, but then that's how we generate those dollars. Okay. So those dollars come in, but then those dollars are also earmarked and can only be used back to those programs. So that when you see that general fund ad that aligned with the $200,000 donation towards the robotics lab, we then took a little bit of that CTE money that was going to get spent in there and prioritized it to be there.
So the more programs that are offered, the more money you get, or is it just a set amount? So with the robotics being added, is there more money that's added?
I don't believe it's per course.
No.
It's based, there's a threshold of student, and then it is, more importantly, the licensed teacher. And so the teacher's already in place here. We already have the teacher. We've had the teacher. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, good thought.
And then also another part of that, there may be purchases that we make from these funds that you won't see on a board agenda just because they don't fall within the thresholds for needing to be approved. But there will definitely be others on here as well. So we are.
And these three projects, the Koenig Legacy Fund, the family of Lee Koenig, when they approach the district, ask for, give us some project ideas, give us some thoughts. So we comprised a list of like 15 things, and we went on a big tour of the district, and these were items that the family connected with. These were items that they felt that their father would have connected with. So they were really, truly, they were on our list to start, but we threw lots of things on that list, and they connected with these. So that's where we ended up with some dollars to the performing arts centers, some dollars to build a greenhouse to extend our agricultural instructional area, and then the robotics and STEM piece to build on for our students in that area.
So the funds are appropriated to those three areas, but the robotics lab is the only one at this point that has like an actual plan for.
No,
we have
this is
plans
just
for
the only
greenhouse
one
and
that's met that limit
that dollar amount limit that
to
has to come.
be on a
Okay.
board agenda. We've already made some purchases, or haven't made yet because obviously we have to wait for board agenda approval. We've had some purchase orders that we've gotten quotes and are ready to go with on the greenhouse project. But it doesn't meet the threshold to come on the board agenda. So we are moving forward with those two bigger projects at this time.
We knew that these dollars were in motion. We obviously didn't do anything until the dollars were secured. When I picked up the check, I think I danced through the office to get it very quickly and safely to our
Yeah, it was a
finance
physical check.
department. It was a physical check for a very large amount of money.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was very fun. So we knew that those dollars were coming. We've been in planning process. So for example, with the greenhouse piece,
I was
Mr.
going to say,
Norris,
maybe just
Mr.
talk a little bit about
and
the greenhouse.
Mr. Rapp and I have had, and Abby, we have had several meetings to plan with. That will be designed and built behind Ross High School.
Okay. Because where's the greenhouse?
Location already placed. And it's truly, if in the back of Ross High School, so that would be the north side of the building, is where our engineering lab sits. And our engineering lab provides instructional opportunity for both our agricultural students as well as our woodworking and engineering, CAD, all of that. They share that lab space. So just behind that, there's a large garage door that opens and access to a field right behind there. And that's where the greenhouse will be built. So it'll be right there. It will literally be an extension of our ag classroom. We already have plant science courseware, but our students build a portable greenhouse that's smaller than this table. And they wire it and they get their plants in there and they do this. Now we'll have the extension of much more
permanent greenhouse.
Robust.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the learning opportunities are just incredible for our students. So we're very, very excited. Like we have a livestock pen because we teach a livestock course as part of our ag classes. And so there are periods of time where we might have sheep in the building because we teach livestock. And that's a piece that I think probably a lot of people don't realize. But when we regularly talk about being a comprehensive school system, we truly are. So that greenhouse we have already planned. That's the location. It will be a permanent structure that will be built. It's not connected in any manner, but it's within walking distance right there.
And I know I had already asked you, but that won't impact the practice field where the band goes.
That will not. There is plenty of space. We have mapped that out. Our practice area for our marching band will need to move slightly closer to Fangboner Road instead of closer to the student parking lot. But there is plenty of space there.
Okay.
Great questions.
You want to move forward with approvals?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we already went through them. So can I get a motion to approve item 22, the May financials?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Nally. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lehman. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved. And then can I get a motion to approve item 23, which is the supplemental appropriations from the Koenig Legacy Fund, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bloom. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lewis. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved. All right, moving on to board member communications. We'll mix it up tonight. Ms. Lehman.
I was excited. I went to the 7-on-7 last week. It was Ross against Clyde, which I was first of all happy to see that duo right there. I don't think I've ever watched Fremont have a 7-on-7 scrimmage against Clyde, but it was good. It was good. The boys, I think, are in really good shape out there. Coach is very involved. It was a good atmosphere. My only suggestion is that we advertise that a little bit more. I don't think I've seen any advertisement on any. The Clyde had it on their page, Facebook. I don't, and I even went back and kind of looked, and I didn't see any. The community would love to see that. I'm sure some of the parents obviously knew about it, were there, but yeah, I think if we could get more community to those events, that would kind of hype up the season ahead, and it would do good. But they look good. They look like they're ready to go, and I can't wait for the season to start. And I know it's right around the corner, so that's my take on the whole evening.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Nally?
Just a huge thank you to the Koenig family. It's a tremendous thing that they're doing, and Lee Koenig was really had a major impact on industry in our community for a lot of years, and just really thank them. And the follow-up would be, there's other families or groups that have funds that they're looking at investing in a good purpose in our community, just contact our superintendent and she'll gladly accept the check or your thoughts on where those funds could be expended. So that's all I had.
Mrs. Bloom?
It's very exciting on the things that are coming with the robotics and the greenhouse, and it's pretty cool. And the drones, all this stuff. It's really neat. And thank you so much for the donations to help get that along. And the trip to Spain, I know Abby went. My daughter's mother-in-law and grandmother-in-law and sister-in-law all went on it. And the pictures they sent back were amazing. The cathedrals and the churches and the architecture. It was just really neat. And they had a great time. It looked like they said it was very hot. And then they brought it home. And it got very hot here. I was like, you could have left it there. But it looked really neat. They had a great time. And good luck to the teams when they start up here this fall. That's it.
Miss Lewis? Sarah?
I'm a I'm a fan of great communication. So I just wanted to give a shout out to the high school's guidance department as a parent. I love to receive the piece of physical mail that has your child's progress on it. So it's kind of a course audit of sorts that, or not a course audit, but their transcript to give you like their standing, their credit standing, what courses they've taken, their seals, just all of that information sealed up in a nice envelope for all of us nosy parents who are all up in our kids' business, to know what's going on, in addition to stock in progress book, like it's our job. But it's just a nice snapshot of the school year that just was completed. And I really appreciate receiving that information. I was fortunate enough to go to the Fremont Community Theater this weekend and see their production of Guys and Dolls. It was amazing and included many of our district students in that production. I think every show was sold out. And those kids did an amazing job. So again, I just think the community theater is a hidden gem in our community. I know they have another production. I think Dr. Seussical, the musical, is later in the summer. But anytime, and we just always have a lot of our kids in the district participating in those productions. So anytime we can go out and support, I think that's awesome. Tax-free weekend is coming up, August 7th through the 9th. I see we reverted back to just one weekend as opposed to the month of August or 2 weeks in August. So I know that's helpful for a lot of parents. You can hop online and easily access information about what type of purchases are allowable, and it is pretty vast. There's a wide array of things that you can purchase, from clothing and supplies to electronics and things of that nature. And parents, if you haven't already, get your final forms done, because it's a lot easier to do it when school is not in session and prior to the start of school. And just remember, this sure beats, especially parents that have more than one child in the district, this sure beats the multiple papers that we get home and would have to sit and take 2 days and sprawl out over the dining room table to complete. So Final Forms makes it very easy. If you've already logged in, you are just confirming the information and maybe updating a few things, and it really is
10
important.
minutes tops.
Yeah, I mean, like you can.
And that's if you have to change something.
Right. You can zip right through it. So get your Final Forms done. And if you have questions, contact the district.
Thank you for that plug.
Right. Thank you for the donations, Fremont Area Foundation, for wanting to build school spirit. When we were all kids in school, you just went to the athletic events. I mean, if you weren't participating, you went to the basketball games, you went to the football games, and now there's so many different avenues for kids' attention that I think it's important to keep that school spirit up. It just helps the mentality of everybody in the school feel more connected. I appreciate them seeing that that's a need and that they're doing something. To the Koenig family, again, thank you to investing in our kids, especially from an agricultural standpoint and a robotics standpoint. Just more avenues for our kids to learn and figure out what they want to do with their life and contribute to our community. So thank you very much for that. Good luck to all the sports teams. I heard there was the 7-on-7 and now marching band getting ready to go with all their chaperones and everything like that. It's fall's around the corner. I'm ready for some football season. A little cooler weather would be all right too, but I'm ready. Last thing, I'm a little disappointed in our assistant superintendent. No report on your trip to Spain
Oh.
with the Spanish club.
Coming.
So 2 weeks from now, we expect a 50-page report with slides, graphics, pie charts, you name it. I mean, you are our assistant superintendent. I would think, the education level that a report like that should be pretty easy for you. So, you got 2 weeks. All right. We're going to hold you to it.
On it.
So, with that, I have a motion for adjournment, please.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bloom. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lehman. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved. Meeting's adjourned.